Greetings, fellow people. It's me, SlayerCoon. It's been a long time since I've done a live stream here on YouTube. For those who don't know, I've had two not copyright strikes, but channel strikes on my channel for the past 5 or 6 or so months, and that's prevented me from live streaming and at one point from uploading. So I'm very glad to be back with you guys. I thought that today I would play one of my favorite games of all time, Gran Turismo 2 for the original PlayStation. This is a game I actually reviewed a week or two ago, but unfortunately nobody watched the review, so I took it down, and tomorrow I'm going to be re-releasing it with a minute or so more of extra content, so be sure to look out for that. Hopefully that appears in people's notifications. I'm glad to see that a lot of people are watching this stream. Considering how broken the notifications have been, part of me was expecting not many people would watch this. So, without further ado, let's get into the game. Alrighty. So, if you watched my review while it was up, you would have known that this game requires license tests to do most of the races. I've done all of the main ones, so I don't have to worry with that. So I can get straight into buying whatever car I want to and racing. Now, obviously I only have $10,000 to start with, so I can't buy anything fancy. So most people, whenever they start this game, they buy this car, the '93 Toyota Supra. I actually have a neighbor who owns a car that looks just like this exact color. I don't know if it's the exact year and make, but I know that I have a neighbor who owns a car, a '93 Toyota Supra. I'm not going to try getting all golds in the licenses. All that does is make people cry from anger. So what I'm going to do is spice things up a bit, and I'm going to be buying something different than the Supra. If there's any lag, that's normal. That's what happens with OBS. It's not a perfect stream, so hopefully you don't mind that. It doesn't appear too laggy on my end. This is also a very good starting car, the Pulsar. But because people are already clamoring for a Skyline, I'll do just that. Unfortunately, it's not one of the four-wheel drive Skylines, it's one of the slower ones, so hopefully you guys don't mind that. So, let's go racing, everyone. I'll go with the high-speed ring. I've been playing this game for years, so it's very easy for me. Excuse me, this game is a bit too loud on my end, so I'm going to need to turn down the volume a bit. Just so I can hear myself talking. Okay. Hopefully it isn't too laggy for you guys. I don't want to have to restart this game, because that would be very annoying. It's lagging on my end too, like, the game is literally slowing down. Guys, let me try to remedy this. Let me see what I can do. That's a problem with streaming. OBS is an absolute piece of shit. Alright. Hopefully this works, because I don't want to have to cancel the stream due to technical issues. Please, for the love of God, OBS, work. Okay. Alright, I forgot to put the screen on. Okay. Okay, I think it's working. I'm gonna be honest, this is probably one of the better looking PS1 games. It's very graphically impressive for a game that came on a console where most of the games look like pixelated cardboard cutouts. Okay, everyone's saying that the stream's fine now, so hopefully it stays that way. Weaver. Sorry if I'm not talking very much, I'm trying to concentrate on the game. No, you bastard, you are not taking over me. You're staying right behind me. Your car is slower than me, and therefore it belongs behind me. Okay then. A flawless victory. Okay. So yeah, guys, if you're wondering about the title, my channel is dying, I think there's an easy explanation for that. I made a video about that a week ago. You can watch it. You can check my channel out. I released it a week ago, so it should appear, hopefully. But, basically, my channel's analytics have been down significantly as of recently. Like, I'm talking, it's been over a month since I've made a video that's gotten over 5,000 views. Basically, all of my videos have flopped recently, including my latest episode of Bad YouTubers. It didn't perform well either. But more specifically, my reviews have been performing terribly, and I wanted to get into reviews because I've grown very bored with Bad YouTubers. I think that I wanted to focus on something more positive, and game reviews are something I've always been interested in. And the first ever review I did didn't do very well. In fact, it took over a week for it to reach 1,000 views. And that's something that continued with my next review, but when I released my review of Gran Turismo 2, it absolutely failed. And I think the reason is because it failed to appear in people's notification feeds. It got less than 500 views within a week. So I had to take it down, and I'm going to be re-uploading it tomorrow. But it's not just that that's making me come to the conclusion that my channel is dying. It's that I actually lost 50 subs when I uploaded last week. And it wasn't because people got pissed off with what I was saying or anything. It's because people are just being randomly unsubbed from me, which really sucks. I was at over 11,000 subscribers last week, but I lost 50 of them. No, I will not do a bad YouTubers episode on you. To all these people who ask me to do bad YouTubers episodes on their channels, which is mostly coming from people with less than 50 subscribers, I really have to question why they would want me to do that. Because it feels like such a very Leafy is Here-esque thing to do. You know, going after people much smaller than me. And plus, most of these people have like 3 videos. Which I think is like, that's not enough content for me to riff on. Also, Bad YouTubers is on a hiatus until the beginning of next year. Although, guys, you can probably expect less uploads next year because by then, not only will I be working a proper job, but I will more than likely be in college, and that's something that's, you know, very time-consuming. So uploads will get somewhat less frequent. Maybe once a month or once every other month. But with that rant out of the way, I think it's time, you know, we get back to the game, because that's more important. Gran Turismo 2 is my second favorite game on the original PlayStation. My absolute favorite would easily have to be Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon. And once the remaster of the trilogy comes out, I really want to review that. Because Spyro 3 is just a masterpiece in every conceivable way. Why does your new profile picture look like a furry? Because I am a furry. I've been out of the closet about this for about 5 months or so. Are you hyped for Smash Brothers? I might get a Switch by the end of the year. Smash Brothers games are always good. These cars are going to get destroyed by me. Like, these cars are so much weaker than me, they don't stand a chance. I've always loved the track selection in this game. I think it's easily one of the best in a racing game. There's a diverse array of locations to go to. I'm currently racing in Rome. There's also a track in Seattle and, let me see. And I think there's a couple more. There's one in California, which is based off of a real-life location. Also, this game has like 600 plus cars in it, which is something that's just mind-boggling how they managed to pull that off on a PS1 game. Like, if you think of most PS1 era racing games, they have, like, less than 50. So, congrats to the makers of this game for making such a technical masterpiece. Yes, Laguna Seca, that's the track I was trying to think of. I never liked that track as a kid because I thought it was too hard. So I'd always race on the easy tracks because I was such a noob at this game. Yeah. But seriously, I don't think a lot of racing simulators nowadays have the same feel as this game. Even the newest Gran Turismo game doesn't feel like this, and it's actually missing a lot of the cars and tracks that the previous games had, which kind of sucks. By the way, Nathan, Nakey Jakey is an awesome YouTuber. Check him out. What's my favorite video game console from Nintendo? I'd say the Super Nintendo. I remember one of my relatives had a Super Nintendo as a kid. This was like in the 2000s when nobody was playing the Super Nintendo, but they had it around because, you know, it was I don't know, they got it out of the closet, you know. So I remember playing that a long time ago, and I love the game selection for that. And if you want to know which Nintendo consoles I have played, I've played the NES, the SNES, the Nintendo Wii, the Wii U, and the Switch. I still own a Wii. It's amazing how badly that console has aged, but that's a rant for another day. Let's go to Red Rock Valley. This is an amazing track, and it's so beautiful. You'll get to see why. But seriously, I've just played, like, plenty of racing, or, like, realistic racing games, and they don't have the same feel as this one. This game is clearly, a different kind of racing simulator. But just look at that sunset. It's so beautiful. I love sunsets, so I love seeing them properly represented in games. It's a shame they never brought this track back into any of the future Gran Turismo games. I think it would look cool, really good in HD. I honestly prefer tracks like this to the real-life tracks that they put in the games. These are just so wholesome and relaxing to race on. Game genres I hate. If there's one genre of video games... There's two genres of video games I don't really like. One is MMORPGs, mainly because I don't have 100 hours a week to waste on gaming. MMORPGs require, like, hundreds of hours of dedication, and I just don't have that kind of time. And another genre of video games I don't really like are first-person shooters. I might get into that later, but I just don't like first-person shooter games. I find them boring and derivative. And also the Battle Royale genre. That genre can just go away for all I care. I mean, it's not like Fortnite is a bad game, it's just that people don't like it because they get tired of seeing it everywhere. It's obnoxious. It's like having to hear the same song on the radio every week. Stay behind me. What the hell? That was just a crazy lag spike. Oh, you bastard, no. You will not overtake me. Some of these races are legitimately anger-inducing. The AI can just be a real bastard at times. Like, you'll have cars that are way slower than you, but they manage to keep up. It's kinda unfair. And we're done. Rubber banding. That's something I really can't stand. A lot of older racing games have that. I've noticed that newer racing games tend to lack that because it's less realistic having 100 horsepower cars keeping up with a 200 horsepower car. Yeah. SlayerCoon, do you prefer WRPGs or JRPGs? I'm not a fan of RPG games in general. Like, I have never played any of the Final Fantasy games, although my older brother owned Final Fantasy VII when I was very young. So I don't really have I don't have any interest in RPGs. From 1 to 10, how much of a video game collector are you? At the moment, I'd say around 5 or 6. Like, I have like 50 or so games. I'm going to expand my collection soon because I really want to get very deep into reviews. So, yeah. But I don't have like a giant shelf full of like 1,000 games, and I don't understand people who do that because a lot of the games they own are not worth playing. What do you think of Animal Crossing? I've never played it, but I think it looks very interesting. I noticed that a lot of people were making porn of Isabelle a couple of weeks ago. The internet is so grand. Toyota and Mitsubishi aren't featuring in new racing games? That's probably some, I don't know, like some licensing issue. That's bullshit. Racing games are about to get much shitter now. So, we gotta stick to the classics. The old Gran Turismo games are always here. They're always there. If you're tired of shitty, boring racing games like Forza, just play Gran Turismo 2, or 3 or 4. Those are classics. Or they could get the cars from, like, Russia. Like the cars from fucking Russia. Whatever. It's time to race on a night stage. This race gives you a prize car. So that's good. Alright, I want to read a comment from someone. I'm your biggest fan, and you get me through a lot of tough times and found out about you in July on my birthday. I'm very glad that I am here to provide people. That's what I've always wanted to do, is just entertain people. I'm not here for money or, here for attention. I'm just here to, you know, put my passion into my work and get some people to watch it. So I'm glad that my videos can help people through their tough times.